So breaking news, and Kimi Raikkonen and Antonio Giovinazzi will be staying with Alfa Romeo for the 2021 season. I definitely believe in Kimi Raikkonen's case that he definitely does deserve to stay on another year. He has been simply fantastic. Even though he is 17th in the driver standings, you've got to remember that Alfa Romeo are one of the weakest cars on the grid at the moment. And he has been able to pull together some pretty good results. Of course, he had the season best finish of 9th place at the Tuscan Grand Prix, but he's also had some other races where he was very unlucky not to finish in the points, like an 11th place finish at the Styrian Grand Prix, like a 12th place position at the Belgian Grand Prix as well, and 11th at Portimao as well. So he has been really good so far this season, been able to get in Q2 quite a few times as well. So I think for me, it's definitely a very good move. In terms of Antonio Giovinazzi, well, he actually has more points than Kimi Raikkonen, but I think it's fair to say that Kimi Raikkonen's definitely had the far better season. Well, maybe not far better season, but he's definitely been the better driver, Raikkonen. But in terms of Giovinazzi, he hasn't been absolutely horrible either. It's mainly been the pressure of the young drivers coming up in terms of Mick Schumacher, Callum Ilott, Robert Schwartzman, and a couple others as well that have been tutored as a potential candidate to take Giovinazzi's seat at the end of the 2020 season, but this is now not the case. And I think Giovinazzi does deserve one more season, but I think this will be Giovinazzi's third full season. He did race in the first two races, I believe, of the 2017 season, I think it was. So I think the 2021 season, Giovinazzi has to be a little bit better, and if he doesn't perform, then I think he's not going to be able to retain his seat at Alfa Romeo past 2021, but yeah, he does deserve one more chance, I think. So that's what I think about that. I guess now for the youngsters, Mick Schumacher, Callum Ilott. So there are two open seats at Haas, which the young drivers could perhaps lay a claim on, but it looks like the first seat is going to go to Nikita Mazepin because he'll bring in a lot of money from his sponsors, and Haas have said that they are desperate for a paid driver to fill one of the seats for the 2021 season. And apparently it looks like Haas will take a Ferrari Academy driver. I think this will definitely now be Mick Schumacher, and I believe that Nikita Mazepin will be announced as the other driver to bring in that cash flow for Haas. So it'll be very interesting to see what happens now. I predict what I've just said will happen in terms of Mick Schumacher and Nikita Mazepin. So what now for Alfa Romeo in terms of the Raikkonen and Giovinazzi signing? Well, Alfa Romeo have to simply try to put a better car together. This season hasn't gone well. They're 8th in the Constructors' Championship, and they're definitely not going to be able to finish any higher than 8th. And if Haas or even Williams have a very late resurgence, then they could see themselves falling further. So for me, definitely Alfa Romeo have to simply put a better car together for the 2021 season, but this will be very hard to do considering that the regulations aren't going to change in a major way, although there will be a few changes. Of course, the salary cap starts in 2021, so that should help them a little bit in terms of equalizing the competition, although it probably won't help too much in terms of next season, but we'll just have to wait and see what will happen. In terms of Kimi Raikkonen's long-term future, I guess I'll touch on a little bit too. I don't expect him to go past 2021, but who knows, if Kimi Raikkonen puts together a few good results, if Alfa Romeo give him a proper package, then who knows, we might see him another season longer. And it's not too far of a fetched idea, to be honest, to have a guy driving well in his 40s. Of course, it happened well in the past, back in the 50s and 60s, but of course the cars were different back then. But then again, I believe Michael Schumacher was 43 years old when he retired in 2012. So Kimi Raikkonen could still go on for a couple more years to come. And in terms of Giovinazzi, I'm really hoping that he can put together a good season. He's a very likable person, very nice, very humble person from what I've seen. So I would like to see Alfa Romeo do a lot better next season. And it'll be good as well, just for competition's sake. So you can't predict who's going to be the bottom 2 teams or the bottom 3 teams. It's going to be hopefully a bit harder to predict who the top teams are going to be past 2022, or past 2021 rather. So it looks like Alfa Romeo have gone for a bit of a short-term plan, which I guess is understandable, being 2021 there isn't going to be too much change from the 2020 season. A lot of things will still stay similar for 2021. So I guess I completely understand why Alfa have made this decision. So there you go, Kimi Raikkonen and Antonio Giovinazzi will be staying with Alfa Romeo for the 2021 season.